Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys checking the video out, swinging by and spending a little bit of time with me today. We're going to be talking about common, what I call rookie mistakes that most all anglers make. It doesn't matter what their skill level is. I still see good anglers make these mistakes, medium level anglers and beginning anglers. So we're going to sort of help identify them to maybe keep y'all from making those mistakes and catching a few more fish. And also, guys, just a big thank you to all the people out there that's been using my tackle warehouse links that I put in the description of the videos here. If you guys are wanting to help the channel out and you need some fishing tackle, if you use those links, the channel gets a small percentage of a commission on those sales. So that's a good way to help out the channel there. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, there's probably quite a few what you call mistakes, but I want to go over some rookie mistakes here that a lot of anglers make and sort of give some tips and advice on how to avoid that. First one out there, guys, is not retying enough. I see this happen a lot of time because, you know, retying, it takes some time. It's sort of a pain in the butt. A lot of times if the water's rough and the boat's rocking, it's hard. You got to sit down, you got to redo it. If you're over 40 years old, you probably got to wear reading glasses to do it. And all you dudes out there that are under 40, you have that to look forward to. When you get about 40, 45, you're going to have to put reading glasses on to do your retying. So there's a lot of excuses that people make for retying, but retying is something that is a control variable that you can do, and it really helps you not lose as many fish, because what happens is a lot of times you get a line fray and it doesn't really feel like a fray. The fray can be like, you know, close to the knot, or it can be in an area that you're not checking. So it's a good idea that even if you don't feel any abrasion or something on your line, you know, every couple hours or so, just retie your knot. You know, it's easy to do, doesn't cost you anything, and it'll really help you as far as breaking fish off, specifically on the hook set. If you guys are, you know, setting the hook hard with whatever technique, a lot of times if you have any weak spot in there, it's going to break if you have it frayed. But it's a good habit, guys, to get in the habit of retying anytime your line feels rough, or if you fish for a couple hours. Because here's another thing. It's like, say if you're throwing like a heavy bait, like a spinner bait or a big crankbait, when you whip that thing out there, think of the torque and the pressure that it puts on that knot, simply because the force you exert. So that's got to weaken that knot too. So retie more that you can. Second one, guys, to talk about is I see people fishing at the wrong pace. Now, when you're talking about pace, you're talking about, you know, fishing slow, fast, or anything in between that. And a lot of people, they sort of equate, you know, the speed that you fish. They say, well, you really got to slow down today and, you know, take your time. And other people say, well, you got to speed up, put that trolling motor up and cover some water to catch the fish. You don't really want to think in terms like that, guys. I think that's a big mistake that people make. What you want to focus on is fishing the exact right pace for the conditions. Now, the right pace is determined by a lot of different things. It can be determined by the technique that you're fishing, how heavy the cover is. Obviously, the heavier cover that you're fishing, the more you got to slow down, you know, to be efficient with that. And if you're fishing open water, you know, moving baits like that, sometimes you can speed up, because it's just a matter of making lots of casts. You know, the more casts that you're going to make in that open water, the more chances you have to catch a fish. And you know, if you're flipping super thick cover, you know, you got to be real precise with that. So the pace is determined by the mood and the personality of the fish. It can be determined by the wind speed, the cover that you're fishing. There's a lot of different things in there, but you really want to make sure that you're fishing at the right speed. And the last one we'll talk about today, guys, which is sort of tied in a little bit to the, you know, finding the right speed, is you can't, what I call, slop through an area. Now, when you are slopping through an area, that means you're not being efficient and you're not being accurate with your cast, and you're missing a lot. So let's say, for example, you're fishing down a row of, you know, a bank that's got 5 or 6 lay down trees on it. And you may be going through there and you may be, you know, making 2 or 3 casts around a tree, and then, you know, you see a tree up in front of you 20 or 30 feet away, and you're throwing up to that one, you know, while you haven't even covered that entire tree that you were just at. That's called slopping through, and that's called not being stealthy a little bit. So what you want to do is, when you approach a piece of cover, number one, make sure you come in on that cover at the right speed. Another aspect of slopping through something is coming up on a piece of cover too fast with your trolling motor or too slow. So make sure that when you come up on that boat dock or that, stump in the water or whatever, that you are on the trolling motor at the right speed to where you slowly glide into there and you don't make a lot of noise, you don't get on top of it, and you just are there at the right time. Now, once you get to that cover, make sure that you cover all your bases there. Let's say, for example, you pull up to a boat dock. Now, that fish on a boat dock, it could be anywhere, depending upon the type of boat dock. It could be under the walkway, it could be on the inside part of the dock, it could be in the boat slip, it could be on any of the corners of the dock, or it could be away from the dock where somebody put brush in there. You have to make sure that you hit all possible angles. Don't just pull up to that dock and make one or two casts and go on to the next one, because you're going to be leaving fish behind. So just try to be efficient, try to be thorough, and just try to hit them from all different angles, because the other thing about that is as the fish get more pressured, that's even more important to really get right on top of them as far as the exact place they're positioned at on that cover. So anyway, guys, that's just a few quick rookie mistakes I see guys making. There's a lot of other mistakes. We all make them, every single person out there. But if you just keep that in mind, just retie a little bit more often, find the pace that you want to fish at, and don't slop through an area. It's going to add up to a lot more fish. So see you guys later. Talk to you later.